Okay, I'm going to answer a couple questions and hopefully, well, I'm probably going to have to break them up into a couple, but these questions sort of have been stacking up. They're sort of similar, but I do get them every once in a while. I prefer to answer questions related to, your children's situation or general special education questions. But every once in a while, people want to know a little bit about, I guess, the practice and how we do things about me. I'm not that interesting, guys. And so I wanted to get a couple of them out of the way. So let's start with number one. Number one was an interesting one. Do I still practice special education law, or do I answer questions on the internet? And I am a special education attorney. I practice law. This is a hobby. This is what I do on my free time, which you'll see where it will be a week, 2 weeks, maybe more, when I just don't have time to make videos like this, and that's because we're really busy, and which is a good thing. But at the same time, I am licensed in Alabama and New Mexico, and I'm applying for my license in Texas to support my little brother, who is our Galini Group attorney in Texas and covers the entirety of the state of Texas. So, and then we collaborate with Michael Braun on Georgia and Tennessee cases. Okay, and then we're looking to expand out. One of the things that I'm asking the attorneys in my office to look at and consider is getting licensed in other states, so that we can expand out using our internal team, and then build from there. So I can't sort of tell you ahead of time where people are sort of looking, all right? But that is sort of a goal by the end of the year, is to have everybody add another state where they're licensed, to where we can make those announcements and offer the same kind of expertise representation in those states. And, we're trying to build a replicable model in other states. The only problem with doing that is that I tend to be a bit of a control freak when it comes to quality control. And, I got into this, my wife and I got into this years ago with our daughter. It was our first case. And, there's some positive and negatives with, I guess, getting bigger, growing as a firm. But one of the things that I never wanted to lose control of was knowing who everybody is. And I still, to this day, have my weekly meetings. I know all of your cases. And, I advise the attorneys. You may not hear from me directly, because I tend to oversee everybody. And I have my block of cases, and it's sort of random. I tend to take more of the serious kind of behavioral based issues, because when it comes to the IDEA, we're still working off of 2004 IDEA, and when it comes to things like behavior and manifestations and behavior plans, we're still sort of in the Wild West and archaic times when it comes to the law and the guidance in these areas as to who can do behavior plans and FBAs and stuff like that, to the point where there's a lot of subjectivity and a wider scope. And I tend to take those cases as opposed to the other ones that, where there's a little bit more bright line rule attached, where there's not for behavior. But it doesn't matter. I'm still involved multiple times a week in discussing the progress of everybody's case, regardless of where you are. And, the only fear that I have with regards to expanding outside of that is losing that kind of, I'm not going to say control, but that kind of relationship to where I can think through these problems and sort of put that stamp on it, that I've been involved in it, being that, this is the Galini group, and, I'm James Galini, so I sort of feel responsible, as I think I should, and ensuring that what my wife and I set out to do years ago, that we maintain that. And I have a great team, does a great job, and they care. And guys, I can't tell you how much time that everybody devotes, I mean, a lot of time that they donate, that we don't get back as far as billable time, because we do things differently as a firm than, at least I hope. I haven't seen one that functions like we do, and I'm proud about that. And I'm proud of the team that I am able to work with. And so this right here, that's a hobby of mine. You don't see anybody else from my team doing this because I don't feel right about asking people to donate their time. So I do it. I answer the questions. I have some people that they said that, or I've asked them, do you want to answer some questions? And it's not that they wouldn't. It's just that I think a couple of them try to stroke my ego by saying that people don't want to hear from them; they want to hear from me, and I don't agree. I think it'd be positive to have to have you guys get introduced and get to know the team, because they have a lot to bring to the table, valuable information to share as well. But that's that. Yes, I practice, and yes, I am licensed in those states, and Texas is the next big one that we're really going to be focused on, where I'll have a license to assist my brother, and then the other part of the team that we're going to be putting together. But we are open in Texas. We just haven't publicized it as much as we could, because I don't want to swamp. Texas is a big state, so I don't want to swamp my brother. So we can take a certain number of cases, and so if any of you are out there in Texas and you're interested in our services, then I would encourage you. And I haven't looked to see where we are with regards to that threshold. I still help Jason with the cases every step of the way. It's just that he has to take the lead because I'm not yet licensed there. But with regards to our working in tandem, that's definite. It happens all the time. But like I said, that's that one. And then I'm going to make another one with that other follow-up question.